Welcome and good afternoon. This is Commish Orr, and welcome to Game 4 of the Best of the 1930s World Series between the 1931 Philadelphia Athletics and the 1931 St. Louis Cardinals. Philadelphia is up 2-1 in the series so far, and it has been a tale of offense mostly, as Game 1 saw Lefty Grove nearly pitch a shutout while Philadelphia scored 13 runs. 13-1, I believe, was the score. 12-1, 13-1 in Game 1. However, the Cardinals responded in Game 2, and Burley Grimes shut out Philadelphia, and the Cardinals took that game 9-0, I believe. Game 3, just yesterday, and actually if we pull up the box scores here, let's just pull up the box scores, shall we? That way I won't have to guess on this stuff. So, yes, 13-1 in Game 1, 9-0 in Game 2, and Game 3 was taken by Philadelphia again, 6-2. This one was notable. First of all, no pitcher has lasted more than lasted out of the third inning. No starting pitcher, or I should say, every game has featured a starting pitcher that didn't last past the third inning. So in Game 1, obviously, that was Cardinals starter Bill Hallahan, only went 2 2/3. Game 2, it was Rube Wahlberg, who lasted into the second inning before getting knocked out of that one. And in Game 3, Paul Derringer only lasted 2 innings before leaving in the third inning. Of course, this one, yes, he had allowed 5 runs, but he left due to a hamstring injury there in before the third inning started. Also notable in Game 3 was a couple of ejections as George Earnshaw was pitching into the 8th inning, pitching well into the 8th inning, before he hit Frankie Frisch, which led to a benches clearing brawl in which Earnshaw and Frisch were both ejected. So Philadelphia held on to win that one 6-2. They have a 2-1 series lead, as I mentioned, which brings us here to Game 4. We are in St. Louis. We're at Sportsman's Park. There was some rain earlier in the day that delayed the game a few minutes, but not long enough to affect the pitchers any. But that rain has cleared up now, and so we have clear skies. Wind has died down, no wind. 65 degrees game time temp here this evening. And we are ready for the starting lineups. Much like the last couple of games, Max Bishop leading off at second base, Mule Haas in center field batting second, Mickey Cochran at catching and batting third, Al Simmons in the number 4 spot batting in left field, Jimmy Fox at first base batting fifth, Bing Miller batting sixth in right field, Jimmy Dykes playing third base and batting seventh, Dib Williams playing shortstop batting eighth, and Eric McNair DHing. Again, these are fairly historical lineups other than the fact that I am using the DH. On the mound for Philadelphia today will be Roy Mahaffey. Mahaffey's only had 2 starts in the tournament so far, but he's 2-0 with a 1.26 ERA, I believe. Cardinals will have Sparky Adams leading off and playing third base, George Watkins in right field batting second, Frankie Frisch playing second base batting third, Jim Bottomley DHing in the number 4 spot, Chick Hafey in left field batting fifth, Pepper Martin batting sixth and playing center field, Ripper Collins batting seventh at first base, Charlie Gilbert at shortstop batting eighth, and Jimmy Wilson catching and batting ninth. On the mound today for St. Louis is Syl Johnson. Johnson is 4-1, I believe, in the tournament with a 3.12 ERA. He's definitely had some key wins for the Cardinals, and he will look to continue that trend and even this series back up at 2 games apiece if he can do it. With all that said, we are ready for the first pitch to Max Bishop. 217, and that's a grounder to second. Frisch will throw over to Collins, and we have one away. Mulehaus steps in. He's batting .387 in the tournament. 659. 659 is going to be a base hit. A little bloop single over the infield here, and Haas is on base with first base runner for Philadelphia. Haas didn't have any stolen base attempts, and he will not attempt here. Mickey Cochran, batting .408 in the tournament with 4 homers. 591, not this time though. That's right to Watkins in right field, and he hauls it in for out number 2. Al Simmons. Al Simmons batting .518, the best batting average of any hitter in the tournament. .418, not this time though. That's going to be a ground out to short. Gelbert flips over to Frisch at second for out number 3. So Philadelphia does get a base hit, but not able to score anybody here. And we go to the bottom of the first. Mahaffey will face off against Adams. .470. .470 is going to be in the gap to center field. And Adams will be in standing up at second base with a leadoff double. Just what the Cardinals needed here to get some momentum, hopefully. Adams does have a little bit of speed, but he's on second base already, so George Watkins will step in. .321, and Watkins strikes out. First strikeout for Mahaffey. Mahaffey doesn't really strike out a ton of batters. A couple a game, maybe. And that will bring up Frankie Frisch. And this is going to score Sparky Adams. That's a base hit. Adams is around third, and he will be in standing up to score the first Cardinals run. Cardinals take a 1-0 lead here in the first inning. Frisch getting a little bit of payback for his ejection yesterday. Things got a little heated. And Frisch is going to attempt to get a lead here. 15 plus his steal is a 20. 10 plus a hole is only a 16, so he will get a lead. There's no pickoff rating to deal with and no overthrow. So his steal is going to be 11 plus his speed, which is 15, which matches Cochran's arm at 15. So he is into second base on a very close play with a stolen base. That will bring up Bottomley here with Frisch in scoring position. 250. And that is going to be a pop-up on the infield in foul territory. And that will be hauled in by Dykes. Chick Hafey steps in. Hafey was hitless in both losses for the Cardinals. He's a .448 hitter, second best hitter in the tournament. And that one's right back to the mound. And Mahaffey will throw over to first to get out of this inning, allowing only the 1 run. So 1 run on 2 hits for the Cardinals with that stolen base also. So, top of the second, Sil Johnson facing off against Jimmy Fox. Fox hitting only .239 in the tournament. And he strikes him out. It's the first strikeout for Johnson here. He did strike out a decent number during the season. Bing Miller steps to the plate. Miller hitting .254 only. And 605. It's not going to do him any good here, as that is going to be another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the second inning for Johnson. And that brings up Jimmy Dykes. Dykes hitting .390 in the tournament. 358 is going to be a pop-up on the infield. And Collins has a beat on that one, and he hauls it in for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down here in the second inning. We head to the bottom of the second. Cardinals still up 1-0. Mahaffey will deal against Pepper Martin. Martin hit .314 so far in the tournament. That one gets by Cochran, but nobody on, of course. 662 becomes a 672 due to home field advantage. And that's going to be a base hit. A leadoff single here for Martin in the second inning. He will not attempt to get it go anywhere. And we'll bring up Ripper Collins. Collins hitting .296 in the tournament so far. 376. And that's going to be a double play ball. Hit towards the bag at second. Bishop will take it himself to the bag and throw over to Fox for out number 2. 4-4-3 double play there. And just like that, there's 2 down and nobody on. Charlie Gilbert steps in. 291 is going to be a deep left field 8. Deep left field 8. And that will be a base hit. So a 2-out single here for Gilbert. And he will also stay put. Brings up Jimmy Wilson. He's only hit .212 in the tournament. 476. And that's a ground out to third. Dykes over to Fox for out number 3. So a couple more hits for the Cardinals. But the score is still 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. Johnson will face the bottom of the Philadelphia order here, starting with Williams. 146, and that's a grounder to third. Adams over to Collins for out number 1. Eric McNair is only hitting .127 in the tournament, though, again, he did have a big game 1. 148. That is another grounder to third. And 2 quick outs here in the third inning for Johnson. Does get him back to the top of the order here. Max Bishop grounded out in his first at bat. And he will ground out here too. Grounds out to second. Frisch over to Collins. 3 ground balls, 3 outs, and another 1-2-3 inning for Johnson. We head to the bottom of the third, and we have the top of the Cardinals order facing off against Mahaffey. And that's going to be a strikeout for Adams here. The second strikeout for Mahaffey in this game. And George Watkins steps in. He struck out in his first at bat. And he strikes out in his second at bat. That's strikeout number 2 just this inning from Mahaffey. That brings up Frisch, who singled and had that RBI in the first inning. 621 becomes a 631, and this will end the inning on a ground ball to Bishop. A 3 up, 3 down inning here. We head to the fourth. Cardinals still with a 1-0 lead here. Buell Haas, he did have a single in the first inning, his last at bat. 5:23. This time a pop up behind the plate. Wilson has room, and that will be the first out. Mickey Cochran flew out in his last at bat. 4:58. This one's in the corner. Cochran around first, and he coasts into second with a double. Cochran with a double. Philadelphia now with a runner in scoring position, the tying run on second here. And Al Simmons steps to the plate. And he strikes him out. Third strikeout here for Johnson. Comes at a key time here. Now there are 2 down. And Jimmy Fox. 4:26. Johnson's a righty. That's going to be another strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the fourth for Johnson. He now has 4 on the game. Philadelphia wastes an opportunity there with a man in scoring position and only one out. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Cardinals still up 1-0. Mahaffey facing off against Bottomley here. 111 is going to be a ground out to third. Dykes takes it, has it easily, and beats Bottomley at first by a step. Chick Hafey, 0 for 1 today. 432. And that's going to be another grounder, this time to second base. Hafey has not had a good World Series. He is now 0 for 2 today, and that's 2 quick outs here in the fourth inning for the Cardinals. Mahaffey dealing against Martin. 325, and that's going to be a strikeout. It's the 4th strikeout for Mahaffey here. Or Mahaffey. Roy Mahaffey, excuse me. And that ends the 4th inning. Pretty sure it's Mahaffey. It's Chick Hafey, but Roy Mahaffey. I've probably been saying it wrong, but forgive me for that. We head to the 5th inning here. Bing Miller leading things off for Philadelphia. For 11, and that's going to be a ground out to short. Gilbert over to Collins. Philadelphia has been pretty quiet in this game so far, which means Johnson's been doing his job here. Jimmy Dykes. 547, and that one is just past a diving Frisch. Dykes will be into first here with a base hit. It's only the 3rd hit of the game for Philadelphia. And Dib Williams steps in. 172. All right, this is a grounder to Collins. Collins will take it to first himself. Dykes will advance to second on the play. So once again, a runner in scoring position, but Eric McNair, who is 0 for 1 today, stepping in. 472. And there it is. That's going to be a base hit. And Dykes will round third, and he'll be in to score. Eric McNair with a key base hit here in the 5th inning to tie things up. We're tied at 1. And I don't believe he's going to go anywhere with 2 outs. He is not. Max Bishop. 251, and that's going to be a fly out to center. Martin under it, and they get out of the inning, but not before Philadelphia ties things up here. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Mahaffey will face off against Collins in the bottom of the St. Louis order. 267. Collins will be a lefty here. That's a deep center field 9. Deep center field 9, and that's going to be a double. Batter does have the option, but his speed is only a 2. So he will not attempt to take third. But this is a leadoff double for the Cardinals and brings up Charlie Gilbert. 221. That will be a 421. And he strikes him out. Mahaffey, that is his 5th strikeout of the game. Definitely above average for him. And just what they needed there. Jimmy Wilson steps to the plate. Okay, come on here. There we go. 343. And this is a grounder to short. I don't believe the runner advances. He does not. So a grounder to short here. Williams will throw to first. And Collins will not be able to advance on the play. So, back to the top of the order here. Mahaffey will face off against Adams with 2 down and a runner in scoring position. 275. This is going to be another deep drive. Deep to left. 8. It's probably going to score him. Deep left 8 is a single. And with 2 outs, I'll just go the auto manager here. Runner advancement, 2 outs. If the next base is home, he's going to go. So Ripper Collins will be attempting here. It was a deep left field, so he's going to be facing off against the left field arm of Simmons. Challenge, 12 plus speed is only a 14. So Simmons is going to gun down Collins at the plate. So Adams, that was an 8. Deep left field, 8. Single, yep. So Adams gets a single, but they gun down Collins at the plate. Al Simmons with a key play here to prevent that run. And we head to the top of the 6th. Johnson will face off against Haas, Cochran, and Simmons. 566. Gilbert has that one. A little bit of a tough play, but he's up with it. Over to Collins for out number 1. Cochran, who had that double in the 4th, he strikes out this time. 5th strikeout for Johnson. Al Simmons, he is hitless today. 588. He will not be hitless now, as that's a base hit, 2-out single. And Simmons on first now. Jimmy Fox. Fox has struggled, not just today, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but in the tournament itself. 449. And that's a grounder to second. And Frisch will take it to the bag himself for the 3rd out. So Fox's struggles continue. Bottom of the 6th. Mahaffey facing off against Watkins. Watkins has struck out twice. 256. Watkins is a lefty. That's going to be a base hit. Leadoff single for Watkins. Cardinals now have leadoff hits in 4 of the 6 innings today. Watkins trying to get a good jump, not able quite to do it. And Frisch will swing away here. He's 1 for 2 today. 614. That's not going to do anything. It's going to be a 624. Oh, but it is. 624 is hit to first base. And since Watkins being held on, that is going to turn into a base hit here. So, holding the runner on. I'm just going to double check this, but I'm sure that's what it is. Yes, 3-6. Oh, that's infield in. Holding the runner, 3-6 becomes a single. All right, so that's going to be another base hit. So back-to-back hits here for the Cardinals. Brings up Bottomley. Mahaffey trying to get out of this inning. There is activity in the bullpen. 248. Just what they needed here, as that's a pop-up on the infield. And Dykes will have plenty of time and room to make that play. Chick Hafey steps in. 229. Hafey's a righty, and he strikes him out. Mahaffey coming in clutch just when they need it. Hafey's struggles continue here. And Pepper Martin will try to get something going here with 2 outs. 375, and he will not. That's a ground ball to short. Williams will flip to Bishop. And the Cardinals not able to do anything with 2 leadoff base hits. We head to the 7th. Both pitchers are only rated for 6, so they will be subject to fatigue starting this inning. Johnson facing off against Miller. 272, that's going to be deep left field. 9, 10, 11, 13. Deep left field 13, probably fine. Deep left field 13, yes. Oh, man. Very close. It's a deep fly out to left, but Hafey will have room. Yep, 13. At the warning track, but able to haul that one in for out number 1. Cardinals fans a little nervous there with that one. Jimmy Dykes. 556. And that's a base hit past Adams. Dykes now 2 for 3 today. And just like that, Philadelphia has a runner on base with just 1 out. But Johnson facing the bottom of the order here. He now has 1 level of fatigue. Dib Williams steps in. 180. And that's a single to center. Dykes will hold at second. And Philadelphia threatening here in the 7th inning. Normally McNair would not bat here, but he is 1 for 2 today with that RBI in the 5th. So they are going to let him bat. He earning the right to bat here. Maybe a mistake, but we'll see. 461, and it is not a mistake, as that is going to be a base hit, and Dykes will be around third and score. Williams holds at second. McNair with 2 key hits here. Johnson now with a fatigue of 3. He'll face 1 more batter here, at least, trying to get out of this one. Max Bishop, top of the order. He's 0 for 3 today. 391, and this is going to be just what they need. Sharp grounder to Collins. Collins to Gilbert, and back to Collins for the inning-ending double play. 3-6-3. So Johnson able to get out of this one with no more damage done. But Philadelphia now has a 2-1 lead here as we head to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time. Philadelphia 2 runs on 8 hits so far, no errors, and St. Louis 1 run on 8 hits and no errors. Johnson will likely, that will be the end of his day. But he does last into the 7th inning. Will not be, well, I guess he would still be in line for a win if the Cardinals can rally here in the bottom of the 7th. Mahaffey, also subject to fatigue this inning. Starting with the bottom of the Cardinals order here with Ripper Collins. 420, and that's a grounder to short right at Williams. Williams will throw to first for out number 1. Gilbert. That's going to be something. 698. That's a walk. Gilbert draws a walk here in the 7th. Mahaffey now with 1 level of fatigue. Jimmy Wilson's 0 for 2 today. And they may very well pinch hit here. Let's see who they have on the bench. I'm sure they are going to pinch hit here. let's see here. Mancuso will probably come into to catch. He will come into catch, I'm sure. But pinch hitting will be... yeah, probably... I mean, I think it's got to be Taylor Duthit. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that one. He pinch hit yesterday and got a base hit. And he will, hopefully, we'll see what happens today. Again, don't know how to pronounce this one. Duthit? Taylor Duthit? We'll see. We'll see. Mahaffey will face off against him here. 526, and that's a pop-up behind the plate. Cochran with room, and that's out number 2. Not what St. Louis wanted here. Sparky Adams, 2 down, runner on first. 396, that's going to be a base hit. That's a single. Gilbert holds it second. So just like that, the Cardinals now have runner in scoring position. Watkins did have a single in his last at bat. Mahaffey trying to get out of this one. 403, and he does, as that's a grounder to second. Bishop flips to Williams. Oops, cancel. Oh, yeah, there we go. Fielder's choice 4-6. And Mahaffey out of the inning with no damage done. But we do need to replace Wilson. And it will be Mancuso here. Gus Mancuso. All right, so Mancuso will be in to catch. There we go. All right. And Sil Johnson is coming out. He did pitch 7 innings. So Johnson pitches 7 innings here. This is the first game where both starters went past the third. And I believe Stout is going to come into pitch. Yeah, Alan Stout is in to pitch for the Cardinals. Alan Stout. Alan Stout. There we go. Stout was 6-0 with a 4.21 ERA and mostly relief work for the Cardinals that year. He will have his work cut out for him as he faces the heart of the order here for Philadelphia. Starting with Muehlhaus. Oops. There we go. 596, and that's a fly out to Watkins. For out number 1. Mickey Cochran. He did have a double today. He's 1 for 3, but he struck out in his last at bat. 627. 627 is going to be a grounder to second. Frisch over to first for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. Simmons. He had a base hit in his last at bat. Otherwise an unremarkable game. And he will have another base hit. A 2-out single here for Simmons. Much like he did in the 6th inning. And once again, Jimmy Fox with a chance to redeem himself here. He's 0 for 3 today. 172. And he's able to draw a walk here. Stout not able to get out of the inning yet. as Bing Miller steps in. Miller's 0 for 3. 153, and that's going to be another walk. And that loads the bases for Jimmy Dykes. Dykes 2 for 3 today. Stout trying to get out of this one. 373. And he will, as that is a ground ball to third base. And Adams will throw over to Collins. And scary inning there for St. Louis, but they're able to get out of it unscathed. Mahaffey does have 2 levels of fatigue, but they do have him out there for the 8th inning here. Starting with Frisch. There is activity in the bullpen. Oops. There we go. 429. And that's a grounder to second. So Bishop over to Fox here for 1 out. Bottomley 0 for 3 today. That's going to be a base hit. 6, especially with his 2 levels of fatigue, that's a 696. 696. That is more than a hit. That is a triple. Bottomley into third base on a ball that bounces around in the corner. And that will be the end of the day for Mahaffey, I believe. Let's see here. They may actually have him face one more batter. Yeah, Mahaffey will face Hafey here with the infield in. Oh, boy. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. It's going to be a 677, a base hit. So Hafey comes in clutch here to tie the game, and that will be the end of the day for Mahaffey. One batter too many. So 7 1/3. Mahaffey goes 7 1/3. And Eddie Rommel could come back out, but I think they're going to go with Lou Krause. Lou Krause. So Krause in to pitch for Philadelphia. Hafey's on first. Still only 1 out. Pepper Martin at the plate. 2-14. It becomes a 4-14, and that is a line out to third. Hot shot right at Dykes, and that will be out number 2. Collins. 486. He's a righty. Oh, that's a deep right field. Oh, boy. 17, deep right field. 486, yep. Deep right field. 17, this could be danger. 17. Oh, boy. Wow. That was way back, way back. Miller with the grab at the warning track to keep this game tied up. Collins should have had some more Wheaties. So we head to the 9th. And Stout will face the bottom of the Philadelphia order. We are tied up. 154. And that's a leadoff walk. Stout, some issues with some control here. And once again, Eric McNair steps to the plate. He has both RBI for the Athletics, so they're going to let him bat. 223. McNair's a righty, so he strikes him out. McNair not able to do anything this time. But it does get back to the top of the order for Philadelphia. 638. 638. And that's going to be a grounder to short. They try for the double play, Gilbert to Frisch, but that's all they can get. So now Bishop is on first. And that brings up Mule Haas, who's 1 for 4 today. 540, that is right at Frisch. And Frisch will flip to Gilbert for out number 3. So the Cardinals get through the 9th. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Score still tied at 2. Kraus will face Gilbert first. 490. And that's a fly out to center. A little bit deep, but Haas has room for out number 1. Mancuso was in to catch for Wilson, and they will let him bat. And he pops one up behind home plate. Cochran hauls it in for out number 2. Sparky Adams is 3 for 4 today. 670. That is a 680. That's going to be a base hit. 680. Yep, that's a single. So a 2-out single here in the 9th for Adams. It's the first base runner against Kraus. Adams will not get a good lead. So brings up George Watkins. 328, and he strikes him out. So that's the end of 9. We head to the 10th. Still tied up at 2. Interesting. Let's try this. All right. Stout still in. He would be subject to fatigue this inning, so they'll probably have him on a short leash here. He'll face off against Cochran. 466, and that's a leadoff double for Cochran here in the 10th. It's his second double of the game. And brings up Simmons, who's 2 for 4 today. Stout may be the best they have right now. I mean, Lindsey's available, but they don't want to burn through. The bullpen's pretty thin. Flint Rem, I guess, he's a possibility. I think Stout will face at least one more batter. See if he can get out of this. 198. That's a bloop single. Cochran's going to hold it third. And that puts runners on the corners here. And Jimmy Fox. So Stout's going to come out here after 2 innings. And I think Rem is going to come in. He's kind of their 5th starter if they needed him, which they hopefully don't. So Rem is going to come in to pitch. And they will have the infield in against Jimmy Fox. $2.99, and it may not matter as that is a deep drive to left. 20. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. 11 plus 9 is 20. Deep left field. Well, on the plus side, that is going to score the runner, as that is deep to left. Fox thought he had all of it, but didn't quite get it all. But it does score Cochran. So Philadelphia takes a lead here in the 10th, but could have been way worse than that. So Bing Miller, 619. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield to short. Gilbert snags it for out number 2. Jimmy Dykes. Philadelphia trying to add some insurance now. 344, and they won't get it. Fly out to Martin in center for out number 3. But they are able to get a run to pull ahead here in the 10th. Kraus will be subject to fatigue this inning, but he is staying in for now to face the heart of the Cardinals' order. Starting with Frisch. That's a grounder back to Kraus. He's up with it and over to first for out number 1. Jim Bottomley with a big triple in the 8th. 593. This time it's a flyout to Miller. And that is out number 2. Last chance, fittingly, is Hafey, who has struggled in the tournament, but did have a key RBI in the 8th. 457. And they have some life left, as that is a double to left. Hafey into second. Tying runner now on second base in Hafey. And Pepper Martin to the plate. He's 1 for 4 today. Kraus trying to close it out. And a rare play. What a time to have a rare play. So runner on second. 501. 501. Runner on second. 2 outs. It's going to be page 37. Page 37. And what was the roll? 606. 606. Oh my gosh. 606. Wow. What a way to end the game, as Hafey trying to get as good of a lead as he can here to try to score on a base hit. Kraus throws behind him, and he is picked off of second base, as Bishop was lurking there behind the bag. What an ending to this game. Picked off base. Crazy. What a way to end this one. Not what the Cardinals wanted to see at all. So Kraus is going to get the win. And Arem. Actually, that runner was Stouts. Let's just double check that for a second. Yes, that was Stouts' runner. And the score was tied here. However, bottom of the 8th. Oh, okay. So no blown saves or anything either. I thought for a second. But Mahaffey actually gave up that tying run in the 8th. So, your winning pitcher is Lou Krause, who, really came in clutch for Philadelphia here. Stout gets the loss because that was his base runner. And we end things in a very bizarre fashion after Chick Hafey gets a double to give St. Louis hope, but gets caught leaning at second base to end the game. Philadelphia, they take game 4. Now they have a 3-1 series lead. 3 runs on 11 hits, no errors for Philadelphia. 2 runs on 13 hits and no errors for St. Louis. 10 innings, and ends in heartbreak for St. Louis. Now, there is one more game in St. Louis. Tomorrow's game is the final game in St. Louis, but Lefty Grove will be back on the mound for Philadelphia to try to close it out. And he will be facing Bill Hallahan, who didn't last past the 3rd inning in game 1. So, stay tuned for that one. Player of the game. Player of the game. Well, Cochran had a couple of doubles. McNair had 2 RBI, 2 for 4 with 2 key RBI there. I don't know, but I'm tempted to give it to Krause, who came in and pitched 2 1/3 and had that pickoff to end the game. Craziness. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Very, very insane ending there. One of the reasons I love season ticket baseball is the rare plays. You never know what's going to happen. I just as easily could have seen an outfield error, which would have tied the game, but instead, Hafey gets picked off. So, with all that said, head over to baseballmaelstrom.com if you want to follow the action. Consider subscribing if you want to follow the rest of the games in this series. And until next time, have a great evening.